Okay, so it's happened. 1 minute you're fine, the next, half the lights are out. It's super frustrating, and you know what? It's way more common than you'd think. So today, we're going to walk through exactly what to do, step by step.
Yeah, when half your house just goes dark, it's really easy to start feeling a little bit stressed out. But listen, the most important thing right now, don't panic. We've got a super clear step-by-step guide right here that's going to help you figure out what's going on and, hopefully, how to fix it yourself.
All right, so here's our game plan. It's a simple 5-step process. First, we'll cover the first steps inside. Then we'll dive into the GFCI check. After that, it's the big one, the main breaker. From there, we'll look at external factors. And finally, and this is crucial, we'll talk about when to call for help.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, First Steps Inside. We're talking about checking your breakers and potential overloads. And honestly, most of the time, this is where you'll find the problem. The fix is often right here, and it's something you can probably handle in just a couple of minutes. Okay, first things first, you've got to find your electrical panel. You know, that gray metal box? It's probably in a utility room, maybe the basement, or out in the garage. So open it up and take a look. You're searching for any breakers that are flipped to the off position. Or, and this is the sneaky one, the one that's kind of stuck in the middle. Now here's the key. You can't just push it back to on. You have to push it firmly all the way to off first. Then you can flip it back to on. That's how you reset it.
But what if you look in the panel and nothing looks wrong? No breakers are tripped at all. Well, if that's the case, we might be looking at a classic circuit overload.
So if your breakers look fine, think about this. What was running right when the power went out? Was it the microwave and the space heater at the same time? Maybe the toaster oven and the hairdryer? All those high-powered gadgets can overload a single circuit. The fix is actually pretty simple. Just go to the area that lost power and start unplugging some of those unnecessary appliances. Then try plugging them into outlets in a totally different part of the house. Just redistributing that electrical load can often be enough to solve the entire problem.
Okay, so the breakers are good, you've unplugged a few things, and still nothing? Let's move on to Section 2, the GFCI check. I kind of think of these as the secret power switches hidden around your house. And believe me, they are a very common culprit for this kind of thing.
So, what exactly is a GFCI? Well, it stands for Ground Fault Circuit Interrupter. But all you really need to know is it's that special outlet with the little test and reset buttons right in the middle. You've definitely seen them. They're all about safety, designed to prevent electric shock, which is why you'll almost always find them in places that could get damp. You know, kitchens, bathrooms, that sort of thing.
Now here's the really tricky part, the thing that gets almost everyone. A single GFCI that's tripped in, say, your garage could actually be the reason the outlets in your upstairs bedroom suddenly stopped working. It's wild. The way houses are wired isn't always logical, which is why it is absolutely essential that you check all of them.
So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to go on a little tour of your home. You're on a hunt for these GFCI outlets. Check the kitchens, every bathroom, the laundry room, the garage, even check the outlets on the outside of your house. If you find one where that little reset button has popped out, just press it in firmly. You should hear a little click. And if you're lucky, you might just hear that satisfying hum of everything coming back to life.
All right, let's say you've done all that and you're still in the dark. It's time to move on to Section 3, the main breaker. This is the big one, the main switch for the whole house. And we're going to take this step nice and slow because safety here is without a doubt the top priority. Okay, back at your electrical panel, you're looking for the largest switch, which is usually right at the very top. That's your main breaker. Now, it's typically a big double switch because it controls two separate legs of power that feed your home. And that's often the answer to our mystery. If just one of those legs trips, boom, half your house goes dark. The reset process is exactly the same as the smaller breakers. Flip it all the way off, give it a second, and then flip it firmly back on.
But hang on, let's just pause here for a second because this is really, really important. The source material is crystal clear on this, and I want to say it directly. If you are uncomfortable or unsure taking this step, see a professional. Seriously. There is absolutely no shame in stopping right here and picking up the phone. Your safety is, and always will be, priority number one.
Okay, so if you've checked everything inside and you're still stumped, it's time to look outside. This brings us to Section 4, External Factors. The big question we need to answer now is this problem just happening to you?
And this is a super quick diagnostic. Seriously, just take a peek out the window. Do your neighbors have lights on? If their houses are all dark too, well then it's almost certainly a wider neighborhood issue. The other thing to consider is the weather. Has it been super windy? Was there a big storm recently? Stuff like that can easily damage power lines and cause exactly this type of outage.
And that leads us perfectly into our final section, Section 5, When to Call for Help. You've gone through all the basic checks you can safely do yourself. This part is all about knowing your limits and making the smart, safe call to bring in the pros.
So who do you actually call? Well, it's actually pretty simple to figure out. If your neighbors have power but you don't, or if you felt unsafe at any point during these checks, that's a job for an electrician. On the other hand, if your neighbors are also in the dark, or you can literally see a downed power line or damage outside, then you need to call your utility company.
And really, this is the bottom line. If you take away only one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. If you have even the tiniest shadow of a doubt, just make the safe call. An electrician has the right tools, the training, they know exactly how to handle this stuff safely and get it fixed correctly.
So let's just wrap this up with two final, absolutely non-negotiable safety rules. Rule number 1, always, always put your safety first. And rule number 2, never, ever, under any circumstances, touch exposed wires or try to do a repair that you aren't 100% confident about. It is just not worth the risk.
And there you have it, a logical 5-step guide to help you figure out what's going on and how to deal with a partial power outage safely. You've got a clear path to follow now, so the only real question left is, are you ready to troubleshoot safely?